crypto, politics, tech and more. Daily News Digest by News Source Crawler, 20 October 2024. Bloomberg comments as, crypto, politics, tech and more. Daily News Digest by News Source Crawler, 20 October 2024. Bloomberg comments as, AI detectors falsely accuse students of cheating. With big consequences in the U.S., parents sue school that gave bad grade to student who used AI to complete assignment. Deep learning AI model scans dark matter of genomic data to find 70,000 never-before-seen RNA viruses. Anthropic CEO thinks AI may outsmart most humans by 2026. KSB.KZ acquires majority share of Turkey's Hepsiburada for $1.1 billion. FTC investigating John Deere repair practices, documents show. Embraer CEO does not deny a possible rival to the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320, as Embraer CEO says jet maker studying possibilities for a new aircraft. Ireland drafting urgent crypto laws before EU money laundering rules. European Central Bank claims early Bitcoin investors exploit new buyers. Trump family will get 75% of crypto token revenue. As Trump family gets 75% of crypto coin revenue, has no liability, new document reveals. Reportedly, Bitcoin miners take divergent paths 6 months after revenue halving. BlackRock's ETF chief says 75% of its Bitcoin buyers are crypto fans new to Wall Street. BlackRock eyes biddle for derivatives collateral in crypto exchanges. Trump fixates on Arnold Palmer as all man in showers during profane rally. Dominion monitoring misinfo after Musk. MTG revive voting machine conspiracy theories. Elon Musk gives random petition signer a $1 million check, as he announces $1 million handouts in swing states. Leaked documents show U.S. intelligence on Israel's plans to attack Iran, sources say, as pro-Iranian account leaks alleged U.S. intelligence on Israel's attack plans. U.S. investigating unauthorized release of classified documents on Israel attack plans. Kamala Harris publicly agrees with protester accusing Israel of genocide with saying, "What he's talking about, it's real." Al Arabiya reports as, a Palestinian-American cardiologist loses 175 family members in Gaza. Emirates team New Zealand Brilliance takes the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup to match point at 6-2. Pope Francis says, sports are the hymn to life. Harris is turning to video games and sports betting to try and win back some of the bro vote from Trump. In France, Marine Le Pen's niece starts own party but backs aunt for president. Switzerland expels Austrian far-right figure Martin Sellner. Undercover film exposing UK far-right activists pulled from London Festival, and director of far-right documentary pulled from London Film Festival says, fear is its own form of censorship. Trump says, China respects him because she knows he is crazy. 5 days ago, China deploys record 125 warplanes in large-scale military drill in warning to Taiwan, and Taiwan military on high alert as Chinese drills encircle the island. Xi Jinping calls on China's army to step up preparations for war. She says China willing to be a partner friend with the U.S. Taiwan reports surrounded by 153 Chinese military aircraft during drills. Moldova holds election. EU referendum amid Russian interference claims. EU leaders to discuss stricter measures to curb arrivals of asylum seekers, and EU leaders embrace foreign return centers to counter illegal migration. It has been commented as call for jet-set tax on Europe's frequent flyers could raise billions, and Europeans made 6% more tourism trips in 2023. From Iran, 7 individuals and 7 entities sanctioned in response to Iran's missile transfer to Russia by the European Council. Israel vows Iran will pay for Hezbollah attack on Netanyahu home. Tehran distances itself. Iran hosts joint naval drills with Russia, Oman and Indian Ocean. Cigna resumes merger discussions with Humana after talks ended last year. In the UK Whitehall, the state mechanism to deliver plan to mutualize crisis hit post office. Indian tycoon Ratan Tata dies aged 86. Video published by Ukraine allegedly shows North Korean soldiers in Russia. Captured Leopard 2 resurfaces at Russia's main tank factory. Ukraine says it struck airfield and largest explosives factory in Russia. U.S. shields Lebanese citizens from deportation amid Israel's war. Cubans struggle as power not fully restored to the island after days of blackout. Justin Trudeau testifies that Russia funded Tucker Carlson and Jordan Peterson in support of their anti-vax COVID claims. As Tucker Carlson funded by Russian propaganda machine, Justin Trudeau testifies under oath. Teen smoking and other tobacco use dropped to lowest level in 25 years, CDC reports. UN reports that 1 in 7 children and teens impacted by mental health conditions. Ozempic shows promise for treating alcohol and drug abuse, study finds. Kamala Harris defends her economic plan and insists she won't be more of Joe Biden. In a tense interview with Fox News. J.D. Vance faces backlash for referring to his children as his wife's kids in new interview. Tim Walz struggles with shotgun at pheasant hunt, gets mocked. China's rise in research papers has an unfair home bias, say U.S. and Japan studies. Japan pressed by U.S. lawmakers to strengthen chip curbs on China. Reportedly, China posts slowest growth since aftermath of zero COVID curbs. Crypto, politics, tech and more. Daily News Digest by News Source Crawler. 18 October 2024. In the U.S., Raytheon Company to pay over $950 million in connection with defective pricing, foreign bribery, and export control schemes. Treasury announces enhanced fraud detection processes, including machine learning AI, prevented and recovered over $4 billion in fiscal year 2024. FCC mandates universal hearing aid compatibility for all mobile phones. X updates its privacy policy to allow third parties to train AI models with its data. Google announces Gemini app team moves to DeepMind. Assistant now part of Pixel and Android. IMD, a Swiss business management school, has created an AI safety clock to evaluate the risk posed by artificial intelligence outside of human control. X looks to steer lawsuits to Musk's favorite Tesla investor judge. New records show Texas judge on X case didn't sell his Tesla shares after taking the suit. The specialists who authenticate trading cards for eBay are rallying for a union contract. India plans laptop import curbs to boost local manufacturing, sources say. Netflix forecasts 2025 revenue to be at least $43 billion, up 11% plus, as Netflix promises more content in 2025 after patchier than normal 2024 due to strikes. Tom Holland says he read a Spider-Man 4 script with Zendaya, but it needs work. Meta partners with horror movie maker Blumhouse Productions to test Movie Gen. Stripe in talks to buy crypto startup Bridge for $1 billion. Sam Altman's WorldCoin rebrands as World and launches updated iris scanning orb. FBI arrests man for SEC social media hack over fake Bitcoin ETF approval post. In the U.S., Google to block election ads after polls close on Election Day. Amazon will stream election night coverage hosted by Brian Williams. Independent review finds systemic Secret Service failures enabled first Trump assassination attempt. Apple celebrates 10 years of Apple Pay, with Klarna being available to UK and US users, and Apple Pay accessible on third-party web browsers and computers. ECB cuts interest rate again as inflation appears under control. Chinese self-driving startup Pony AI files for US IPO. Unity releases Unity Engine 6, with open-source AI models over Sentis, automated game opponents and game outcome predictions using AI, and simpler multiplayer game creation. Voice actors in Japan create group to fight unauthorized AI use of their voices. As Yuki Kaji teams up with Code Geass and Hunter x Hunter voice actors, after AI becomes the latest threat to the anime industry. Foreign porn websites blocked in France for lack of age control checks. Trump says Apple CEO Cook called him with concerns about EU penalties. Donald Trump says Tim Cook is a better Apple CEO than Steve Jobs. EU may consider revenue from other Elon Musk businesses if it finds X, report says. Guten partners with TikTok Shop, enabling shoppable commerce powered by print on demand. Instagram announces new tools to fight sextortion and help teen victims. Blue Sky gains 500,000 new users in one day after X changes how blocking works. Carbon Mapper shares the first emissions detection images from CO2 tracking satellite. ESA's Euclid Dark Universe Telescope reveals first breathtaking images from massive cosmic atlas map. Prada and Axiom Space unveil NASA spacesuits to be used in Artemis 3 moon mission. Alien life could lurk on Mars beneath protective ice, study suggests. Half of all global food threatened by growing water crisis, report says. Ultra-powered MRI scans show damage to brain's control center. is behind long-lasting COVID-19 symptoms. Google launches Notebook LM business to make enterprise AI audio text. Adobe Project Turntable makes a 2D vector drawing can be arbitrarily rotated in 3D, resulting in a 2D vector art representing the object from the new view. NVIDIA, MIT, and Tsinghua University-led Sana, a text-to-image framework, can generate images up to 4096 by 4096 resolution. Eric Adams' legal hopes in corruption case could depend on Trump victory, claimed by sources. In the U.S., 4.8 M borrowers, including 1 M in public service, have had student debt forgiven, Biden administration says. LA Catholic Church payouts for clergy abuse top $1.5 billion with new record settlement. As one day ago, Archdiocese of Los Angeles agrees to pay $880 million settlement to clergy sex abuse victims. U.S. hits Houthis with precision strikes on weapon facilities in Yemen. Biden tells Netanyahu, "It's time to end Gaza war after Sinwar's elimination." Israel says Yahya Sinwar, Hamas top leader in Gaza, killed in major blow to militant group. Disney developing Prince Charming movie, lines up director. Mr. and Mrs. Smith casting new John and Jane for season 2. Billie Eilish among those rumored. Dirty Dancing being adapted as a new Broadway-bound stage musical. With first step to World War, North Korea preparing 10,000 soldiers to join Russia's war, Zelensky confirms. Trump says Ukraine's Zelensky should never have let that war start. U.S. sanctions force Sputnik radio off the air, as 2 U.S. radio stations end Russian-backed propaganda programming. Crypto, politics, tech and more. Daily News Digest by News Source Crawler, 17 October 2024. Thomas Tuchel hired as England head coach ahead of 2026 World Cup. Famed Roman sculpture, Apollo Belvedere re-emerges after major restoration. Call Her Daddy podcast host inks $100 million deal with SiriusXM. Britney Spears reveals she is writing a novel. Win for Musk's Starlink, as India says no to spectrum auction pitch from Ambani Middle. Elon Musk's X dodges EU's DMA, as Block decides platform isn't important enough for fairness controls, as Elon Musk's X evades compliance with landmark EU antitrust regulation. TSMC third quarter profit beats expectations, as AI boom drives 54% hike. Reportedly, generative AI startups get 40% of all VC investment in cloud amid ChatGPT buzz. Amazon goes nuclear to invest more than $500 million to develop small modular reactors. In the USA, EPA can force coal-fired power plants to drastically cut carbon pollution, Supreme Court says. Deepfake romance scam raked in $46 million from men across Asia, police say. Brazil arrests US DoD hacker tied to FBI national public data breaches. 2 months ago, US DoD hacker behind $3 billion SSN leak reveals himself as Brazilian citizen. In the U.S., 2 Sudanese nationals indicted for alleged role in anonymous Sudan cyberattacks on hospitals, government facilities, and other critical infrastructure in Los Angeles and around the world. The Financial Times comments as, Meta criticized for calling its AI models open source. 2 months ago, Meta is accused of bullying the open source community, and 1 year ago it has been commented as, Meta's Llama 2 license is not open source, by Open Source Initiative CEO. Mistral releases new AI models optimized for laptops and phones. Robinhood launches desktop platform, adds futures and index options trading to app. Ripple leads $25 million round in Bitnomial as the derivatives exchange launches futures trading platform in U.S. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway hikes its SiriusXM stake to 32% after Liberty deal. Activist Starboard Value has $1 billion Pfizer stake, taps former executives for help, sources say. Toyota joins with Hyundai's Boston Dynamics on AI-powered robots. Expedia shares gain on report that Uber explored making a bid. The FTC makes it easier to cancel subscriptions like streaming services, memberships and Prime. McKinsey to pay at least $500 million in DOJ opioid probe. 3 years ago it has been reported as McKinsey never told the FDA it was working for opioid makers while also working for the agency. J.D. Vance says Donald Trump did not lose the 2020 election. Donald Trump bears responsibility for January 6 attack, Jack Smith argues in new filing. Trump, running for president at 78, says only stupid people put old people in top federal roles. FBI quietly revised 2022 crime data to show violent offenses rose rather than dropped. In the U.S., former GOP Representative Liz Cheney endorses Democrat Susan Wild. Trump once again tries to silence Stormy Daniels before election, claimed in a report. Italy passes anti-surrogacy law that effectively bars gay couples from becoming parents. Apple expands tools to help businesses connect with customers, as any verified business can now create a consistent brand and location presence across apps that customers use every day, including Apple Maps, Wallet, and Mail. Winamp deletes entire GitHub source code repo after a rocky few weeks. Crypto, politics, tech, and more. Daily News Digest by News Source Crawler, 15 October 2024. The U.S. Defense and Homeland Security Departments have paid $700 million for AI projects since ChatGPT's launch. Adobe's Firefly video model claimed to be the first publicly available video model designed to be safe for commercial use. Firefly integrated into Photoshop, Illustrator, Adobe Express, and now Premiere Pro. Google signs deal with startup to build small nuclear reactors to power AI. Chinese cyber agency rejects U.S. hacking claims in new report. U.S. weighs capping exports of AI chips from NVIDIA and AMD to some countries. Chinese researchers break RSA encryption with a quantum computer. FIDO Alliance publishes new specifications to promote user choice and enhanced UX for passkeys, to enable users to securely move passkeys and all other credentials across providers. Chip industry faces talent shortage as revenues head to $1 trillion, as commented by Deloitte. Tesla's humanoid robot remotely controlled by employees during event. Crypto company Tether talking to commodity traders about lending them its billions. MrBeast allegedly reaped $10 million promoting and dumping altcoins. Bosch Stuttgart Digital chooses AWS for crypto infrastructure. Some of FIFA's transfer rules contrary to EU law in Lassana Daira case ruling, says European Court of Justice. James Gunn assures every announced DCU project is still coming despite lack of updates. Legendary Entertainment buys out Wanda Group's ownership stake. Trump scraps town hall Q&A. Plays music videos for crowd instead. Harris could join Joe Rogan podcast and hunt for mail votes, sources say. Kamala Harris will sit down with Brett Baier for her first Fox News interview. FEMA temporarily pauses aid in parts of North Carolina over reported threats. Report claims, Netanyahu says Israel will strike Iranian military targets before November 5 election. Biden warned Iran that killing Trump would be an act of war, claimed in a report. U.S. warns Iran to stop plotting against Trump, says U.S. official. In the U.S., 30% of the cameras in Border Patrol's main surveillance system are broken, memo says. BBC boss says word talent banned as workplace culture review begins, and BBC boss says, Russia and China taking advantage of world service cuts. Venezuela cancels passports of dozens of activists and journalists. Crypto, politics, tech, and more. Daily News Digest by News Source Crawler, 14 October 2024. U.S. Labor Board accuses Apple of restricting workers' Slack social media use. U.S. blacklisted Chinese surveillance camera maker Hikvision said to be cutting jobs. Reportedly, Apple wants to launch smart glasses to salvage the billions it spent on Vision Pro. Hezbollah drone attack kills 4 IDF soldiers as U.S. prepares to send missile system to Israel. As U.S. confirms it's sending THAAD, the missile defense battery, 100 troops to operate it, to Israel. Secret documents show Hamas tried to persuade Iran to join its October 7 attack. It has been reported as Harris addresses to Jewish voters, with all options on the table to stop Iran from going nuclear. Nobel Prize in Economics 2024 awarded to trio for work on differences in prosperity between nations, as trio of professors win Nobel Economics Prize for work on post-colonial wealth. BlackRock's assets hit record $11.5 trillion amid private market push. China property stocks jump after Beijing proposes measures to lift troubled sector. Uber, Lyft avoided millions in pay by locking NYC drivers out of apps, claimed in a report. X drops Unilever from lawsuit against advertisers, citing a new agreement. Boeing to cut 17,000 jobs and delay first 777X delivery as strike hits finances. AI company Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei lays his vision on AI with an essay of title Machines of Loving Grace, on basis of maximizing leverage, avoiding perception of propaganda, avoiding grandiosity and avoiding sci-fi baggage. Apple researchers find large language models lack robust mathematical reasoning abilities. Meta's AI chief Yann LeCun dismisses AI existential threat concerns as complete BS. Rural Americans are dying younger, living less healthy lives, alarming report reveals. Genetic analysis challenges the idea that loneliness directly causes diseases. Astronomers use Webb to probe a steam world in the constellation Pisces. SpaceX successfully catches returning Starship booster. South Korea tech exports slow for second month in risk to growth. Anna Kendrick's directorial debut Woman of the Hour is a tense exploration of inescapable misogyny. Anthony Hopkins to star in Maserati, The Brothers, biopic of famous car family directed by Bobby Moresco. Alien, Romulus sets date for digital and physical releases. AI tongue can detect difference between Coke and Pepsi, research finds. iRobot director accuses Elon Musk of taking his ideas for new Tesla robot. Van and Moore with Hey Elon, can I have my designs back please? Casio launches AI pet robot for emotional support. Mass die-off in bats across U.S. linked to over 1,000 human infant deaths. France/bird flu outbreaks by vaccinating ducks, as France to start second bird flu vaccination campaign in October. Hurricane Milton was intensified by human-driven climate change, say scientists. Wall Street Journal comments as, attacks on gay rights push Russia's LGBTQ community into the shadows. Star Wars unveils first look of its first trans woman stormtrooper called Sister with armor in the color of the transgender flag. Michigan Catholic bishops condemn Whitmer's Doritos video stunt as offensive, and Catholics hold rosary rally outside Gretchen Whitmer's house after Doritos video sparks backlash. 2 days ago, Whitmer reenacts viral trend by feeding podcaster Dorito, drawing criticism from Republicans. Trump pledges raises and 10,000 more agents in border plan. Man with guns arrested near Trump rally in Coachella. Riverside sheriff says, they stopped assassination attempt. Armed man, Vem Miller arrested outside Trump's Coachella rally, as local sheriff insists it was third assassination attempt, despite letting perp walk on meager $5,000 bail. Trump says national abortion ban is off the table, but we'll see what happens. Cheney does not have faith Mike Johnson will certify election. America First Policy Institute, a group advising Trump, says its systems were breached, as Trump-aligned group believed to have been attacked by Chinese hackers. Reportedly, black voters drift from Democrats, imperiling Harris's bid, poll shows. Musk says he is all in on Trump in U.S. election. Trump plans to appoint Musk as Secretary of Cost-Cutting. California officials reject more SpaceX rocket launches, with some citing Musk's X posts. Elon Musk says he will take legal action after California officials cited his politics when rejecting SpaceX launches. Obama tells black men it's not acceptable to sit out election. Russia's illegal use of Starlink terminals hasten fall of Volodar, The Washington Post reports. Unknown drone fleet breached U.S. military base airspace in Virginia for 17 straight days, claimed in a report. The Atlantic comments as rumors on X are becoming the right's new reality. The Federalist comments as Kamala Harris is too stupid to be president, also comments as a vote for Donald Trump is a vote for normalcy. Judge agrees to unseal additional filings from January 6 case as Trump signals challenge. Boris Johnson defends Trump's claims on Ukraine and January 6 riot. Trump requests military plane, increased protection amid security threats. Trump campaign connected with Elon Musk's X, before it blocked links to hacked materials. Crypto, politics, tech and more. Daily News Digest by News Source Crawler 11 October 2024. In Germany, CDU and CSU prepare the return of nuclear power. Hungary says Turkstream could help supply Europe with gas if transit via Ukraine ends. Cooperation with Russian Gazprom ensures supply and great price for Hungary, Foreign Minister says in Russia. Sajardo says, Budapest is under pressure to end energy cooperation with Russia. Slovakia wants to ban mRNA vaccines. 1 week ago, Slovak health minister quits over government support for anti-vaxxers' COVID report. In Canada, Poilivre backs mandatory psychiatric drug treatment for kids prisoners. Moscow court finds Discord for $36,230 over LGBT propaganda. 10 days ago it has been reported as Russia orders Discord to remove almost 1,000 posts it says contain illegal materials. In Germany, economic researchers warn of further increase in bankruptcies. UK resumes Swiss trade talks in global Britain push. IMF demand on special economic zones to dissuade China investments in Pakistan, as reported by Bloomberg. In Switzerland, the federal government calls on the population to create emergency supplies. 5 months ago, government tells Britons to stockpile as part of emergency planning. Trump proposes new tax break on car loan interest. VW and BMW chiefs warn on EU's China EV tariffs amid falling profits. UNIFIL confirms Israel hit 3 bases. Israeli forces fire at UN position in Lebanon. 22 killed in Beirut strike. Italy summons Israeli ambassador after UN observers wounded in Lebanon. Israel recommends Lebanon peacekeepers move, says UN envoy. Michigan newspaper issues correction after Trump claims he won Man of Year award. Roger Stone suggests using armed guards during election in secret video. FCC chair denounces Trump's calls for CBS to lose its license over Harris's 60 Minutes interview. Drug maker Teva Pharmaceuticals agrees to pay $450 million in False Claims Act settlement to resolve kickback allegations relating to co-payments and price fixing. In Brazil, adoption of children by same-sex couples triples in 4 years. Russian official recommends recognizing anthropomorphic subcultures as LGBT propaganda. Poland funds Starlink modules used by Ukrainian soldiers, not Musk, says Polish Foreign Affairs Minister Sikorski. UK considering sending troops to west of Ukraine for recruit training. Macron inspects Ukrainian troops training at a French military camp. Football Manager 25 release delayed until March 2025. YouTube says it is not hiding the skip button on ads. Amazon bets big on sports streaming in bid to boost Prime memberships, advertising revenue. iPhone users can send texts via satellite when cell service is down. NASA to pay €2.7 million for innovative recycling projects in space. Grand tomb of Roman gladiator found in Turkey actually contains the remains of 12 other people. Pharrell Williams confesses his massive hit Happy was actually born out of sarcasm. Celine Dion releases official hymn, A L'Amour Paris Olympics recording in honor of Edith Piaf. James Hetfield says Metallica don't want to be a legacy band that just plays their greatest hits. Reportedly, Britain's demographic is in the process of dramatic change, as The Guardian comments as, deaths outstrip births in UK for first time in nearly 50 years, and The Times comments as immigration fuels biggest UK population rise in at least 50 years. NYC seeking 14,000 hotel rooms to shelter migrants through 2025, as housing costs set to surpass $2.3 billion. Errol Morris's Trump immigration documentary is reportedly being held until after the election. Salon comments as new documentary details Trump's child separation policy, but NBC won't air it until December. In the UK, Chancellor Rachel Reeves considering raising capital gains tax as high as 39%. China steps up checks of wealth management products after $149 billion outflow. Bloomberg comments as unions need to join the 21st century economy. BMW delivers over 100,000 electric cars in Q3. GM sold more EVs and hybrids than gas cars for the first time in China. SEMA sues California to stop the state's EV mandates. Reportedly, thousands of Trump Bibles were printed in China, as he campaigned against trade practices. Germans decry influence of English as idiots apostrophe gets official approval. New Nobel Prize winner, AI godfather Geoffrey Hinton, says he's proud his student fired OpenAI boss Sam Altman. Just 2.5% of U.S. homes changed hands in 2024, the lowest rate in decades. U.S. 30 years mortgage rises to 6.32%, biggest weekly gain since April, Freddie Mac says. In Germany, economic researchers warn of further increase in bankruptcies. Bank of Korea cuts rate to 3.25% as inflation cools, ending longest rate freeze. Air India buys 85 Airbus jets, eyes more Boeings, sources say. Bloomberg reports as aircraft debt sales are rebounding after Russia plane seizures. Italy sets conditions for Como stake sale by Stellantis. Stellantis ousts CFO in effort to stabilize reeling business. Marriott settles with FTC to pay $52 million over data breaches. Hackers take control of robot vacuums in multiple cities, yell racial slurs. Qualcomm reveal hackers targeted Android users by exploiting zero-day bug in Qualcomm chips. South Korea unveils world's first autonomous, amphibious robotic missile launcher. Chinese laser weapon similar to British Dragonfire reportedly spotted in Iran. Germany will send more weapons to Israel soon, Scholz says. In the U.S., pro-Palestinian hackers claim DDoS attack on Internet Archive amid data breach and website defacement. It has been reported as Internet Archive was exposing user email addresses for years before recent breach. Russia shares AI images of Hurricane Milton as disinformation abounds in USA. Company behind major Social Security number leak files for bankruptcy. AMD launches MI325X AI chip, taking on NVIDIA's Blackwell. NVIDIA stock rises after management says Blackwell is sold out for 12 months. Apple opens its most extensive lab outside US in China amid fierce rivalry with Huawei. TikTok owner ByteDance launches $170 earbuds in China in push into AI wearables. Donald Trump says Project 2025 author coming on board if elected. Donald Trump is Putin's source at the top, says former CIA chief. The Atlantic endorses Harris, with she believes in democracy. U.S. meteorologists face death threats as hurricane conspiracies surge, and sleeper agent bots on X fuel U.S. election misinformation, study says. Obama lashes out at crazy Trump in first U.S. election rally for Harris. CBS News says Trump campaign had shifting explanations for why he snubbed 60 Minutes. Trump insults Detroit while campaigning in the city as Trump, pitching aid for Michigan automakers, insults Detroit. North Korean troops fighting for Russia in Ukraine, as announced by Seoul, and Kremlin dismisses reports of North Korean soldiers fighting in Ukraine. Africans recruited to work in Russia duped into building drones for use in Ukraine. The Financial Times comments as, no one but Moscow gains from Polish and Ukrainian tensions. 15 days ago, it has been reported that Putin will likely control part of Ukraine when war ends, Czech president says. 1 month ago, Harris suggested that Russia could target Poland if Ukraine loses the war. In Italy, Bologna imam expelled for voicing support for Hamas. In India, government bans Lebanon-based terror outfit Hizb ut-Tahrir. 5 Arab Israelis indicted over plot to car bomb Tel Aviv skyscraper. Taiwan's president vows to resist annexation by China in National Day speech. Former Taiwan leader Tsai to visit Czech Republic, other European destinations, drawing China's ire. Chechnya's Kadyrov threatens blood feud, accuses Russian MPs of plotting his murder, state media reports. White House says Sinwar remains Hamas decision-maker, alive in Gaza. In Canada, victims of communism memorial faces call to remove over 330 names linked to Nazis fascists. FBI announces the repatriation of a Nazi-looted Monet, missing for more than 80 years, to the heirs of original owners. In the U.S., TD Bank pleads guilty to Bank Secrecy Act and money laundering conspiracy violations in $1.8 billion resolution, as 92% of total transaction volume going unmonitored in certain years. Over 370 million girls and women globally subjected to rape or sexual assault as children, as announced by UNICEF. More than 200 women in legal talks with Harrods over Al-Fayed abuse claims. Crypto ETF issuer Fidelity says breach leaked data of 77K customers. Pro KYC deepfake tool exploited to bypass crypto exchange security. FBI warns of cryptocurrency scams as report finds Californians lost $1 billion. In the U.S., SEC charges Cumberland DRW for operating as an unregistered dealer in the crypto asset markets. Dubai's VARA fines, issues cease and desist orders against 7 crypto entities. China to sell $1.3 billion of Ethereum from seized Plus token scheme. EU countries greenlight €35 billion loan for Ukraine using Russia's frozen assets. EU's von der Leyen urges Moldovans to vote, announces $2 billion in aid. Ukrainian media outlet says it's being pressured by Zelensky's office. Pedro Sanchez unveils plans to help migrants settle in Spain. In Spain, Sanchez touts benefits of migration as European neighbors tighten borders. Reportedly, Japan seeks to draw digital nomads, who are seen as beneficial to economy, society. Italy's hard-right government set to send sea migrants to Albania in bid to curb arrivals. NHK to align streaming service charges with terrestrial TV fees in Japan, as NHK to charge monthly online viewer fee of 1,100 yen starting next year. Netflix is not changing talent compensation model, Bella Bajaria says. PayPal formally launches ad business to pitch its shopping data to advertisers. Tennis legend Nadal to retire in November 2024. Nobuo Oyama, voice actor for beloved Japanese cartoon robotic cat Doraemon, dies at age 90. Japanese atomic bomb survivor movement Neon Hidenkyo wins Nobel Peace Prize. Hong Kong wins Nobel Prize in Literature for intense poetic prose, confronting human fragility. Fewer soft drinks, red meat may ease menopause symptoms, claimed in a study. Breakdancers may risk headspin hole, caused by repetitive headspins, doctors warn. Study finds rise in emergency visits for pregnancy hypertension. Palestinian Islamic Jihad head killed in airstrike in West Bank. Iraqi Shiite militia threatens to attack U.S. forces if assaulted by Israel. Stop Israel from bombing Iran's oil sites, Gulf states urge U.S. Ukraine's Zelensky outlines victory plan to allies, discusses long-range weapons. 20 days ago, Moscow says it will not participate in Second Ukraine Peace Summit. Zelensky denies ceasefire with Russia under discussion on Europe trip, and Zelensky says Ukraine won't consider exchanging territories for Western guarantees. Dutch police arrest admin of Bohemia Cannabia, dark web market. Old devices, idle servers can be turned to spy on us, China's top security agency warns. U.S. officials race to understand severity of China's salt typhoon hacks. ByteDance owned TikTok slashes hundreds of jobs in shift towards AI content moderation. TikTok executives know about app's effect on teens, lawsuit documents allege. TikTok sets aside $1 billion to cover future European data privacy fines. Taiwan says 4 iPhone maker staff detained in China under strange circumstances. CDNR nears deal to buy Sanofi's consumer unit for $16 billion, source says. UPU names Deutsche Post and Swiss Post as best in the world. Bitcoin recognized as divisible property in South Korean divorces. Almost half of traditional hedge funds are dabbling in crypto. Stripe reintegrates crypto payments in the USA. Trump's World Liberty Financial submits proposal to Ethereum DeFi protocol Aave. It has been speculated as Trump-linked DeFi venture could double Aave's treasury overnight with $100 million boost. The FBI secretly created a coin to investigate crypto pump and dump schemes. Apple hosts secretive conferences to teach law enforcement how to better use iPhone, CarPlay and Vision Pro for police work. U.S. Department of Justice requests information from Saab North America Incorporated regarding Brazil's acquisition of Gripen fighters in 2014. China slaps sanctions on 3 U.S. firms, 10 senior execs over weapons sales to Taiwan. BRICS nations set for 4.4% growth in 2024 through 2025, outpacing G7 economies. Elon Musk hypes $30,000 Tesla self-driving cybercab and larger robovan at robotaxi event. Musk unveils new Optimus personal assistant robot. In the past week, 4 of Elon Musk's direct reports have announced their exits from Tesla. LinkedIn says 10M people have signed up as freelancers on its services marketplace. Unilever exits Russia with sale of all assets to local company. Reuters reports that China's Chery assembles cars in Russian plants vacated by Western rivals. Donald Trump doubles down on China carmakers being unwelcome in U.S. market. OKX launches fully licensed platform for retail and institutional investors in UAE. Ripple expands custody business to offer bank-grade service to crypto firms. Formerly Swaziland, Eswatini Central Bank unveils digital Lilongini design paper. Study finds it could take over 40 years to flush PFAS out of groundwater. Average wildlife population size declined by 73% in just 50 years, warns WWF. Toothbrushes and showerheads are teeming with viruses unknown to science, study shows. Miley I is moving forward with his plan to reduce spending. He will now cut senior executive positions at AFIP, who earn between 14 and 32 million Argentinian pesos per month, as government to conduct suitability test on 40,000 civil servants. Those who fail will be fired. French government unveils unprecedented public spending cuts and tax hikes for 2025. As commented for in 2025 budget, 4,000 fewer teaching positions in education, a sabotage for the unions, as French government aims to reduce deficit to 5% of GDP in 2025.